This is how I was able to quit any addiction in a simple 5-step process. No BS, I'm not trying to sell you anything. There's no catch. Now, before your limiting beliefs come into play about, oh, what can this kid teach me about addictions? Just give me till the end of this video and I promise I will give you enough value that you will be able to quit any addiction. Matter of fact, dislike the video right now and you'll change it back to a like by the end of this video. I can guarantee it. So I was suicidal at 15 and 16 years old. I was suffering in silence. I was a complete loser and a degenerate, and I had the following addictions. A crippling porn addiction. This was not just a few times a week. This was 7 times that, a few times every day. And I discovered porn at 8 years old, started watching it routinely at 11 years old, and it only progressed, getting worse and worse. I was also heavily addicted to gaming. Again, started gaming at like 7 years old. And then as I was getting bullied more and the struggle was coming on to my life more, I taught myself this coping mechanism of gaming. The more I got bullied, the more I played video games. So therefore, it would only get worse and worse over time. Oh, but this wasn't just like grinding GTA on your PS4. No. This was games on my phone, games on my laptop, games on my PS4, games on my gaming PC that I eventually got. And I would just be playing video games everywhere. In class, walking home from school, in bed late at night. You name it, I probably did it. I was also addicted to social media, followed bikini models, which actually ended up being the main trigger for my porn addiction. On top of all these bad habits, I have 2 left. I had a sugar addiction. Some people may not call this a real addiction, but I was addicted to sugar and I would eat about 250 grams to 350 grams of sugar a day. I've recently started tracking my calories a few months ago and that's by my estimate. I also used to be addicted to Coke. I would have about 5 or 6 cans a day. No, that is not an over-exaggeration. Sometimes it would get up to 12. And I can also somewhat say that I was a little bit addicted to alcohol. This wasn't like a routine-based thing, but when I got into contact with this drug, alcohol, I would indulge in until I pass out. It's either I don't drink alcohol or I drink 12 Coronas type thing. Yes, I'm 17 years old. And I have been sober from all of the following for at least 6 months now. Step 1, this is very simple, but literally just accept the fact that this is a problem. When I was playing video games, when I was doing all of these things, I would compare myself to people below me. My ego wouldn't allow me to realize, okay, Cade, you have fucked up. If you're watching this, you've probably fucked up as well. And you need to realize, okay, I need to stop comparing myself to others because what I'm doing is not helping me. For example, the people that are playing video games like 5 hours a day, they'll say, oh, but at least I'm not out partying, doing drugs all day, all night. And then the people at those parties, oh, well, at least I'm not in the hookup culture. And then the hookup culture, and it just goes on and on. People are literally just comparing themselves to people below them, so then they make their own situation just feel a little bit better. Your brain literally convinced you to indulge in something hundreds of times. That's why you are here. You can't listen to your brain and things like this. So hopefully I've convinced you, okay, yeah, Cade, fine, I have a problem. That brings me on to step 2. You need to learn about whatever substance that you are taking. If you truly knew the effects of what you are taking and the effect it has on your brain and your body and your health, you probably wouldn't even have touched it in the first place, right? So we all know video games, right? This is a good example because no one actually knows how much it is fucking us up. The reason why more men play than women is not because of like the shooting games or whatever, no, there's plenty of variety. It's the fact that it links to our primal desires as men. Can you guess what they are? It's status, progression, and brotherhood. You know when you're like sitting in the lobby around your online friends? That simulates brotherhood in your brain. The fact that you are progressing to something, it makes us feel accomplished. When you aren't achieving enough in the real world, the virtual world will make you feel amazing. It's literally the perfect escape for young men who have problems in their real life. Whether they're being bullied, trouble at home, you name it, video games could probably fix it. So read articles, watch podcasts, read blogs even. Just listen to people who A, know about the certain addiction, maybe like Andrew Huberman, and then learn from people who are previously hooked. They're pretty easy to find. Just search up like weed, recovering from weed addiction. There you go. I bet you there's 50 different videos you could watch. Step 3. We need to know why you have the urge. This is linked to step 2. Because, okay, so you've learnt about the addiction. You've learnt about the harm it causes you, what it does to your brain, and all of that. Now we need to know, okay, so with all those things, why am I prioritizing this urge over all of those side effects? Because the urge, it's not what you expect it to be. For example, okay, why do I drink alcohol? Because I like getting drunk. Why? Why do I like getting drunk? Because it feels good. Why does it feel good? Because it distracts me from the fact that my ex cheated on me. It will be some random shit like that, I can guarantee you. Or it could even be some childhood trauma that you aren't dealing with. I'm being serious. Just ask yourself, okay, why do I do this? Then ask yourself why again. Then why again? And then keep going and you will find your answer. If I did this with gaming like 2 years ago, I would have been like, okay, why? It makes me feel good. It's a time killer. These are the baseline excuses. And then you go a little bit beneath that. Okay, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel accomplished. Why does it make me feel accomplished? Because I hate myself and I'm feeling suicidal. That is what literally would be my answer from 2 years ago. So now that you know what it is, you'll soon realize that it's not even the substance. Because your friend that you smoke weed with, he could have a completely different reason to why he's indulging in it. The reason why this is so helpful, the reason why knowing why you are addicted to this is so helpful is because you cannot solve a problem without truly identifying it. Step 4. What environmental changes can you make? This is a lot easier said than done. So from the moment you wake up in your bed in the morning to the moment that you fall asleep, we have a lifestyle that is built around things. And then we have triggers within those lifestyles. For example, the average porn addict would wake up in the morning, scroll through, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, see some models, and then relapse. We need to break all of these things and actually re-engineer our entire lifestyle. Depending how bad your addiction is, you might need to just remove a few things. For example, when you wake up, I just got to get out of the bed. If I get out of the bed, I don't relapse. If I get out of the bed, I don't relapse. Say that to yourself over and over again, and it will work. So you need to identify, okay, before you relapse, what feeling do you have that's not just a craving? What is it? Is it the feeling of loneliness? Is it the feeling of just heartbreak? What is it? Whatever trigger it is, you need to cut it off, even if it's people. Your health and your mental health is way more important than whoever the fuck you could cut off because of this. So you need to have a routine, have goals to chase, and have shit to lose pretty much. Okay, if I relapse, it's gonna fuck up this. I'm going for this goal, and when I'm still addicted to this, I can't go for this goal. It can be fucking anything. Get better at drawing, meditate for 15 minutes, lift weights more. It doesn't matter what the goal is, but you need a direction that you are pursuing on a daily basis. I know this is coming off as preachy, but when you don't have a direction in a boat, you'll just go where the waves are pushing you. And with this addiction, that's like a fucking tsunami wave. So for example, when I get up, I instantly grab my journal and just write down 5 things I'm grateful for. I don't do it in a brain dead way. I'm actually thinking, okay, what am I grateful for? Oh yeah, I'm grateful for this ring light. It's actually pretty helpful. I'm grateful for it, yeah. And then I do a body meditation and then I'm out of bed. Either having a cold shower or recording videos depending what I'm doing that day. You can really go to the extreme with this and you can change your entire environment, meaning move cities, move countries, just go to a different room. For example, we saw this after Vietnam. A whole bunch of heroin addicts, like 1 in every 3 soldiers tried heroin whilst in Vietnam. And not as nearly as many of them were addicted as expected. Step 5 is the final step. Quitting addictions is the first step to living a delayed gratification lifestyle. So you need to find new friends maybe, and find new hobbies. The perfect swap for video games is the gym, because in video games you're developing yourself, you're leveling yourself up, you're progressing. The gym is the perfect replacement for that. And the progress is real. You see it. That's what makes it so much better. You just need to do things that increase your confidence. I don't hear many people talk about this, but your confidence needs to be higher than your desire or your craving for the addiction that you have. I learned that the hard way, but in the short term, yes, this is going to fucking suck. You are going to be craving whatever you're trying to quit like a bitch. I think nicotine is maybe like 2 weeks. Porn is about, in my experience, 90 days. But after a certain period, you will find yourself being repulsed by the substance that you're once craving every single day for. Now, this is the perfect opportunity to prepare yourself for the future. So let's say you've been off it for a few months now. You want to know how you can increase your willpower? Is to gain access to it again. Now, this is risky as fuck. I would not recommend this if you're still getting urges. But for example, with my Coca-Cola addiction, I have a can of Coke on my desk. So whenever I'm at restaurants, whenever I'm out, I'm always going to get a water instead of a Coke. Usually I would say, oh yeah, I'll have a Coke when I'm at the restaurant. But no. When I have it in front of me 24/7 when I'm at my desk, I'm constantly saying no. I no longer even get the urge to drink it anymore. But when I first put it there, I was like, fuck. But it gets easier. So when you're presented with it again, once you've been testing your willpower, you will always say no. And that's the key. Yo, because you stayed to the end, I'm just going to give you a fuck ton of value, like these extra tips and tricks or whatever, that you need to quit your addiction, because you've given me your time, and if you're still watching this, I'm actually grateful for you. You have given me a lot of watch time. I'm not even close to monetization, but I'll get there at like the end of the year maybe. Also, when you relapse, you need to not beat yourself up. I destroyed my mental health over this. When I was on doing NoFap, I would relapse and then I would kick myself for it. I would beat myself up for it all day. I'd be like, what the fuck did you do, Cade? Why did you do that, you dumb piece of shit? You get the point. Don't do that. We've probably been building this habit for a few years now, as I was, and we just need to slowly, progressively unload this, because it will take time to quit this. Also, you need to be wary of what you're quitting, because there are some drugs out there that if you cold turkey them, if you manage to just instantly cut off and never take them again, you could die. For example, I think Xannies and Barbs and Ritalin. Yeah, those. And a few others. Don't take my word for this. Make sure that your drug, when you cold turkey it, you don't die. Pretty simple, but just make sure. My last point before I end this is stop counting the days. Now I see this a lot. Oh, I'm on day 6 of no weed. I'm on day 21 of no fap. Fucking shut up. The point of quitting addictions is to separate this from your identity. You're no longer a part of weed. You're no longer a part of video games. You're no longer a part of it. But you are still fucking attaching it to you when you're counting the days. Okay, yes, this does work for some people. Like, oh yeah, I'm on day 3,000 of fucking no alcohol or some shit. You've probably heard that, or day 1,000, being realistic. And that's fine for them. It works fine. But if you're counting the days and you're relapsing, stop counting the days, please. You are destroying your mental health in the progress. You aren't a bad person for being addicted to something. No one is. But it's your responsibility to clean up your act. Stop counting the days, make the days count. Cringy quote to end this, I know. I believe in you, bro. Don't believe... Why do I always fuck up the last bit? Don't do us easy, do us... Right. Peace.